travel to. And we'll talk about that in a little bit because of COVID. So, watching the Derek Chauvin trial is not easy at times.
Mm-hmm. But so many people want to watch it because, you know, this video has touched them and they want to see how this is going to go, and it's been talked about so much. So many African Americans will tell you that watching this has been not only traumatic, but also like reliving that video all over again. And the amount of mental anguish that Black people and people who've been affected by the video can be anyone's guess, because you can't tell necessarily just by watching, but it is affecting folks.
Yeah. You know, remember this witness? It was last week, Charles McMillan. I mean, he cried uncontrollably while he was testifying on the stand because he saw this whole thing happen there in Minneapolis. And then a fellow witness, Donald Williams, eventually broke down. It was also understood when 18-year-old Darnella Frazier, who actually shot the video that we've all seen, that the whole world has seen, she shot the video and watched George Floyd die, said her life was changed forever.
So how do you watch a trial without being emotionally scarred? We want to bring in Dr. George James here with some answers. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Alex and Mike. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
Because I think so many people are emotionally invested in this. They want to be informed. They want to see what's going on. But at the same time, it's painful. It's painful to watch and hear the details over and over.
You know, this is very painful for lots of people, but definitely for people of color and definitely for Black folks. And, you know, what people, I think, need to accept and realize is that this is traumatic. And for lots of people, it's actually re-traumatizing, because not only are they seeing the video and reliving that pain, but for many people of color and many African Americans and Black individuals, they're reliving the pain that they experienced in their own lives, the times that they might have been pulled over, the times where they experienced racism. So it's a lot that people are feeling in just watching the trial.
Could they even feel like, oh my gosh, that could have been me?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling like that could have been me. And for some people, they're saying that was me at one point, or I was close to that point. Some people are experiencing, especially those that you mentioned, like Charles McMillan, or even Genevieve Hanson, and some of the other folks that were there, are experiencing survivor's guilt. Like, maybe I could have done something else. Maybe I could have said something or done something. But the truth is they couldn't. And that helpless feeling is also traumatizing. Even for us who are watched from afar, it's overwhelming and difficult to feel like we couldn't do anything and might feel like we still can't.
Is it a form of PTSD?
You know, one of the things that I want people to understand is that there's a difference between PTSD and trauma, right? If you have PTSD, you've experienced trauma. But if you've experienced trauma, it doesn't necessarily mean you categorize for or qualify for PTSD. And just real quickly, PTSD has 4 aspects to it. There's where you have intrusive thoughts, you have avoidance, where you don't want to think about anything. You might have some alterations in how you think and experience, or hypervigilant. Versus trauma is what we're seeing and experience, these negative things that impact us over and over and over. So some people, like those who are there, probably are experiencing PTSD, but not everybody. But it is still traumatic.
And when it comes to the trauma part of it, there's also racial trauma. What is that?
So racial trauma is the negative experiences that people of color and Black individuals face day in and day out. It is the symptoms, the emotional and physical symptoms that they experience from racism, microaggressions, things that they experience in their life, watching the video, things that they experience in their history over generations. It's all that put together that causes trauma around race and racism. And this is part of what we're seeing. And that's why some people don't even want to watch the trial, because it's just too overwhelming and too triggering.
And that's okay too, right? I mean, I just say, I can't stand to watch, I can't handle it.
Yeah, you know, what I tell folks and the people that I've been talking to is that whatever you can handle is okay. If you want to be all into the information and know every detail, know what every witness says, fine, that's okay if you can handle it. If you say, I don't want to see it, I don't want to hear it, I need to protect myself, that's okay. That's all self-protection and self-care.
Good
And
points.
that's important. Self-care is important.
Yeah. Thank you, Doctor. Oh, it's great to have you on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think a lot of people are feeling that, a lot of that as they watch. And it's going to go on probably 3 more weeks. So we'll take a break.